Hi guys, this is Maya here. It's a pleasure to meet you again in my next video. And being a Toastmaster for 18 years, I've seen multiple contests. I've gone through multiple contests too. And I've watched World Championships of public speaking. And 3 days ago, there's this World Champion of Public Speaking, of a World Championship of Public Speaking took place in the country of Bahamas, alright, where the champion was Jocelyn, Tyson. And before I move on to dissecting the speech or analyzing the speech, if you want to watch the speech, the link is below, alright, the world champion speech, Jocelyn Tyson. And you can also watch the second place and the third place winner to the speech, where I given the link below, right? So with the title of Have You Been There? And I thought of, okay, let me take this opportunity to actually analyze and dissect the speech. This is just my opinion, alright, based on my experience being in contests and coaching people on public speaking. Alright, so that could be wrong in my analysis and stuff. So it's just my opinion. Alright, so looking at the speech, for the duration of 6 minutes 45 seconds. Alright, so with the title of Have You Been There? The thing which actually attracted me was first the opening of the speech. Alright, so why am I saying that is she used the technique of going back the year 2021. So she brought us back. Alright, so that is one so-called style, like a storytelling once upon a time kind of thing. So bring us back. So that was one. And she put a uniqueness there in the sense of a catch where she did something which she has never done before, which is triathlon. Alright, and she even explained what is triathlon, alright, with the 3 disciplines. So being a triathlete myself, so I can actually gauge and engage with the speech. Alright, so that was well done. So that is one good strength that she had in her speech. The second strength was, of course, the humor in her speech. Alright, because having such a heavy content, humor is important because you have an international audience. There's at least 800 odd people watching your speech in the room, or it could be even more. All right, so people from different background, different portfolios and different professions. And one way to actually attract them and keep hooking them is through humor. And there were humor spots at least at 7 that I could see. All right, so there could be more, all right, but what I can see is at least at 7. All right, so that was well done. Imagine for a speech of 7 minutes or 6 to 7 minutes, you had 7 humor spots. So that's good. At least at the pace of every 45 seconds, 50 seconds, you're putting a humor there. So that was well done. The third strength I could see was, of course, your pace of your speech, because it was not too fast, it was not too slow, all right, it was just nice. All right, so I was able to follow through your pace of your speech itself. All right, and you just raise your so-called the pace when it's needed. All right, I've never done triathlon before, right? I've never done swimming before. So you see, you only needed to race when it's needed. All right, and when you say, have you been there? So you slowed down. So I was able to follow through the speech. And the fourth strength which I could sense was on the words. Okay, because again, I was able to follow through your speech due to the words that you use. It was simple, it was clear, all right, it was short and concise. So that was well done. There were no jargons, all right, there were no bombastic words. So that was well done. And I realized the fifth strength was you push down your tone when it's needed, you raise your tone when it's needed. So there was a volatility of your tone. So it was not monotonous, there was a volatility in your tone itself. So you raised, whenever you are surprised, you are shocked, you are amazed, you raise the tone. So that was well done. And then in your speech, though there were no other characters, but I could see there's 2 characters there, which is basically both yourself. One was a saying which you can do, the other one which is saying you can't do. So you distinguished between both the characters, all right, within yourself. So that was well crafted character, I would say. And the next I would sense was on the overall energy, because overall energy of your speech was at the maximum. Okay, you were really pumped up, just like going for a triathlon. You were really pumped up, you know, that was fantastic. And I couldn't see the energy level going down. It was just at the top-notch level. So that was well done. And that energy level supported your body language, because I could see your eye contact, your facial expressions, your hand gestures, your fingers, your legs, everything moved. So it was a well orchestrated speech, all right, I would say, because your body moved in line with your speech and words. So that was well done. And finally, though your speech, that you had humor, you know, you had some inspirations, right? You had some amusement, shock and stuff. I could still see the pain in your speech, because especially when you said you had fear, you don't know how you want to swim, and you swam backwards, right? So you tweaked the pain with humor. So that was well done. So each and every time when you had some pains there, you tweaked with the humor. So that was well crafted, well designed speech, I would say. So these were like 8 to 9 elements of strength that I can see in Jocelyn's speech. All right. So this, let me now go into points where she can make it more effective and efficient. All right. This is just my personal observation, personal opinion. All right. It could differ from people to people. All right. So the first points of improvement which I could feel was on the so-called, you had swimming explanations, you had explanations on the running, but on the cycling you just breeze through. I couldn't see much explanations or stories on your cycling. So perhaps you could have shortened a bit on the swimming, add a bit more on the cycling to make it even. All right, because I could just see you just grab the bike, you just try to pedal, and then you just finish, and then you just chuck it. That's it. All right, so you, within that 15 seconds or 10 seconds, that story of the cycling leg is gone. All right, so you could have actually put in more effort on the cycling too. And the second so-called points for improvement or things that can make it more efficient is where the conclusion, I felt it was rushed towards the end, and it was as if that you just wanted to finish the speech, because I can see it was already on the yellow line or yellow zone, so you want to just avoid the red zone. All right, so what she could have done is she could have actually tell us, yes, what she has done, what she wants us to do. All right, because end of the day, this public speaking is for the audience to have a message to bring back, a bring back message. All right, so now when I'm there, I want to know what you really want to tell me, what you want me to bring back. All right, it could be something like, yes, I had the fear, I was there, okay, but I went through it. I'm sure each and every one of you could have been there, could have been in a similar situation. Have you been there? Just go through it, just focus. You can achieve. You can be an achiever, something like that. You can be successful, something like that. All right, so that's the conclusion which I was expecting. The third point of improvement was, yes, you said you have completed the triathlon. You could have actually added after your message how you are today after completing the marathon or the triathlon. All right, you could have said, yes, I've completed more triathlons today, or I've coached more people, right? Or I inspired more students or youngsters, something like that. So this is what Jocelyn could have focused on, how she is today. All right, because we know how she was before the triathlon and after completing the triathlon, and now what she is doing. All right, a kind of a so-called a sentiment where for us to bring back to know. All right, and the fourth comment or evaluation points that I can make here is on most of the speech. She moved left to right, right to left kind of thing. What she could have done is she could have also utilized the stage from back to front. All right, or she could have just moved back and then say, yes, I swam backwards. You could have actually turned the body towards the audience, the back, and then just swim backwards. All right, so by then the body could move towards the front part of the stage. Right, that can be one. The second part is where, yes, I was there. Okay, I have been there. And she could have just moved towards the backward of the stage. And then she said, yes, I put in effort, I focused, I cycled, I swim, I run, and I completed the marathon. So she could just move forward by saying that. And there she is in front of the stage. all right? It's like similar to the finishing line, all right? So this is how she could have actually moved from backwards to frontwards, all right? Because I've seen her moving left to right. This is something where from the back towards the forward, all right? So these are the points of improvement, or things that can make Jocelyn's speech more efficient, effective, that I felt. All right, so do let me know if you have any other recommendations or things that you see differently. All right, because end of the day, this just I want to share from my own personal point of view. All right, so anyway, Jocelyn, it was a well crafted speech. You're a world champion end of the day. All right, so I hope to meet you one of the days, hopefully in future, all right, or even get some tips and tricks from you too, all right, because I aspire to be there one day, hopefully, all right. So being 18 years in Toastmasters, so this is something which I can gauge by looking at people's speech and giving pointers and analyzing their speech, all right. So with that, thank you very much. Catch you in my next video.